questions here. It will pop up on your thing. You'll see. Is it live?
Yeah, it's live.
I love it when it works. Okay, and we're like right perfect on time. So welcome. So today is an exciting episode because I'm talking to Dr. Angela Martin-King, who is so many things. I think she's one of the most unique and interesting people that I know. And so I love to, chat with her and talk to her and, work well together with each other. Oh, and of course my phone is ringing. It's Tyler. Tyler, like you didn't already know. And so back to you being one of the most interesting people that I know, because you're so talented and you have so many gifts and modalities, right? And so just to kind of touch on a few of the things. So we're talking about hypnotherapy today. So Angela is a trainer of hypnotherapy. She's also a master NLP practitioner. She does this amazing modality called Soul Genesis, and she's also a chiropractor for not only humans, but animals as well. And so, and by all means, fill in on anything that I'm not aware of that I haven't mentioned. And it's saying my speaker is not working, so use a different speaker. So I want you to talk. So you go ahead and talk, and I'm going to find a new speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori, for the wonderful introduction. I think you nailed most of the labels, right? The titles that we give ourselves. I think you got them all. Sometimes people ask, why do I have so many titles? And it really comes down to two things. Number one, I love learning. And number two, I needed to find a way to stitch together all of the things that I was learning and understanding as a healthcare practitioner. And so mind, body, soul work is what I would call myself, somebody that works with all of that. So I'm excited to be talking with you today about hypnosis and how powerful it can be. So yeah, do you have any questions, Lori?
Well, I want to really talk, let's first talk about, some of the bad rep that hypnosis gets, because I love hypnosis. So for you guys that don't know, I'm also a master hypnotherapist in my practice. And I use it with my one-on-one clients when required. And so when I talk to people about it, people are very hesitant. People are always like, no, I'm going to cluck like a chicken. Like they do all those like fear-based, things. And so what are some of the fears that people have around hypnotherapy? Like, why does it get such a bad rap?
Well, I think hypnosis and hypnotherapy gets a bad rap mainly because of the way it can be portrayed on media. So we're talking about movies, TV shows, and people think that if they follow this ticking watch, that they're immediately going to lose control, and that's not true. Hypnosis is actually a more awakened state than sleeping. So you don't fall asleep in hypnosis. You're actually awake. You become more aware and more in touch with yourself and what's going on. It is a dozy state though. And so people are afraid sometimes they're going to lose control or be manipulated, and that's just not true. One of the most important things about hypnosis is that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So hypnosis is a choice, and people that go into hypnosis are choosing to allow the practitioner to lead them through the process. And so it's a very, very high level of trust.
Right. And I do also remember that, you can't really do anything in a hypnotic state. No one's going to put you under hypnosis and force you to do like rob a bank or, do all those things that you wouldn't normally do on a ethical, moral, legal level anyways, right? So it's totally, so as much as you think you're out of control, you're actually in way more control than you think, right?
Yeah, hypnosis is powerful because it connects you to that deeper level of you, like that unconscious mind, that deeper part of you that knows who you really are. And so it's a powerful way for us to, start using those higher levels of ourselves that we haven't tapped into. And it connects deeply to your ethics and your morals. So you are more of yourself when you're in a hypnotic state.
Right. And so how does it work? Tell us, how does it work? How does it tap you into your unconscious mind?
Well, typically hypnosis works. You want to be in a relaxed state. So you've got to be in a very comfortable place. You've got to be with a practitioner that you trust, that you feel is going to keep you safe while you go through the process. Now, hypnosis is a natural state. It's an actual trance state. And we actually go through it every day, right before, when you're waking up and you're feeling like dozy, maybe you've hit the snooze button and you're in that state where the time is moving very, very slowly in your mind, but it's moving regular outside. So it's kind of like this timeless, dozy state where you're most creative. And that's when we're starting to pass the veil from our conscious thinking self into our unconscious hidden parts of us. And so hypnosis is a process that actively puts you back into that trancy, dozy, very comfortable state.
Yeah, like that theta brain wave that, where kids are living in constantly, right? That programmable, this is the brain state where you're programmable, where you can learn new things, that take on new, where it kind of slides right in. It's like downloading a new program into your software, right? Into your hardware, kind of.
Yeah,
something like
absolutely.
That, right?
And it's so funny because we forget that we go into the state all the time. Like you've ever been driving somewhere and you've been driving for 30 minutes and you don't know where the time went and you're like, wow, I'm here, how did I get here? That's the same state.
And you think you're dangerous, you're like, was I like unconscious the whole time? It's like, well, consciously unconscious, but yes, like you're took over, right?
Yes, that deeper part of your brain is taking you through the driving process, keeping you safe while you daydream in your mind. That's what hypnosis is like. The only difference is there's a practitioner like me or you, Lori, that is leading you to some new awareness or helping you find some new magic within you or empowering you or, truth be told, they could be teaching you not to smoke anymore. It could be anything.
I love when you said find the magic within you because, I have, used hypnosis with clients in a variety of different ways, right? I've done it boost clients self-confidence, like even for public speaking and just being generally more self-confident in life and in general. And one of the interesting ways our colleagues come in and do facilitate is to unlocking their creativity. Pain, I can't do this, and it's like, no, you can. We just need to program you. we just need to add that in. We just need to tell you that you can't, but you can, right?
Yeah.
And so good. And so for anyone watching, I know I'm trying to watch here on Facebook at the same time too, to see, because we're live on Facebook, which is different. There's a little bit of a lag. So if you're watching and you have any questions about hypnotherapy and how it can work specifically for you, you're with hypnosis and in all your experiences. I love it because Angela can do it not in many different ways.
What was that, Lori?
I said, you tell us in all the great ways in which you've used hypnotherapy, because it can be used in so many different ways that people don't even realize. And you have some interesting clients. Tell us about your different.
It is amazing the things you can do with hypnosis and hypnotherapy. Now, the traditional ways that a lot of practitioners use it, and I do use them in these ways, there's lots of programs where you can stop smoking or maintain your weight. You can, empower yourself for confident, like you said, confident public speaking. Those are the traditional ways we think about it. Yet there are so many different ways we can use hypnosis. One of my favorite ways, and some of you might be excited about this one, is I work with a lot of animals. So I'm an animal chiropractor, and animals tend to react differently in different situations when you start doing something strange to them, like doing chiropractic on them. And so one of the ways that I use it with animals is to actually put the animal in a hypnotic state so that they can relax and trust me. And it usually works really, really well. I've also used it with my own dogs. I have very, very high energy dogs. I've used what we call a post-hypnotic suggestion to give the dogs a command to go back into that really relaxed hypnotic state whenever I give a certain command. And you can watch, one of my dogs will melt down like he's made out of like liquid. He'll melt down into the ground, into this giant puddle of mush as soon as I give the command. And so, as silly as that might seem, it's actually very powerful as an animal owner to be able to put my dogs in a proper state if they're being reactive. Now, lots of clients I've used hypnosis with them in tons of ways. In group programs, it is a very powerful way to get everybody in the room comfortable. It's a very powerful way to get them feeling like a family and connected to each other, and in that supportive, safe, secure state. So I love to open any group programs with a hypnotic, either a track or music, or into a hypnotic program, bringing them into that state as well. Hypnosis can also be used for installing any emotional state that you want. So if you want to feel powerful, we can use hypnosis to bring back a memory of you being powerful and reinstall it inside your body, which is really important if you're feeling disempowered in your life. Yeah, there's so many ways to use it individually with clients. One of my most favorite ways to use hypnosis is in helping them learn about who they really are. So sometimes I'll take them back into like inner child work, where they go and meet themselves as a 4 or 5 year old, and they remember who they are and they bring that child forward. So hypnosis is actually the basis for most forms of empowerment therapy that we use today. It is a skill set that gives you instant rapport and trust with your client. And it's just so powerful for creating change. Yeah.
Right. And so, how do we do that? And I know how we do it, but in terms of like being given basic instruction as to like you're feeling stuck in your life, or you're feeling, a little, not only how you mentioned, really stuck in the rigmaroles of their day, and in terms of like, what a hypnotherapy session would look like, and what it could do for them.
What a great question. Well, if you are feeling stuck or disempowered, or I'd say meh. Anybody out there feel meh? Right? I mean, we're going through a tough time in life right now. And I'm sure, just like some of you out there, that there is that feeling of just, needing something more, maybe needing another tool in your pocket. And so what I love about hypnosis and hypnotherapy is it actually engages you with your deeper self. So instead of you walking around using 10% of your unconscious mind, or 10% of your conscious mind, we are engaging the practice of using all of your unconscious mind. So you get to use 100% of who you are. Now, that's not so easy if you're trying to learn it on yourself. And that's where a practitioner comes in. And so a typical first session, just imagine if you're walking into the room. So I have like this big office. You can see some of it. I have this big office in here, and most people come in and they sit in one of the comfy chairs. There's a nice comfy chair here. And the first session, we'll sit down and we'll talk about what they're actually looking for. Where are they stuck in their life? And we'll kind of get down to the roots of what's it about. Because it's usually not that there's anything wrong with you. There's never anything wrong with you. It's that you're missing some resources, or something is incongruent. It's not lined up with who you are. Yeah. And so our job as a hypnotherapist is to find out where you're not aligned with yourself. And then we go in through hypnosis and help you, clean that up. how to make you more of you, take out the old stuff, like the old emotions and the old patterns that don't serve you, and replace them with more powerful, more congruent ones. So the first session is usually figuring out what all that is. There's a lot of, chit chat and getting to know each other. Sometimes we'll do some little, like we'll sit down and we'll do a mini session as well, where, we take you in and get you to experience what hypnosis feels like. And so it kind of feels like you're dozy and comfortable, and, when you're watching a really good TV show, and, it feels great. And then in the next few sessions, then we'll start slowly going in and stripping away the stuff that doesn't serve, and helping you find that power that's hidden within you.
Right.
The cool thing, Lori, is that every session is different. Every person is different. Every client is different. And so each time I work with someone, it's like a new adventure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like experiencing it all for the same, for a new time. And that's what keeps me excited about doing this work.
Yeah. And I think the more open and the more, I want to say susceptible, but I think open-minded is that the more open-minded you are to the possibility of hypnotherapy, then the further you can get. And this is probably why your sessions transform. They can transform quickly, which means you can go through many layers of, I want to say exploration, but let's just say awakening. So you could go through many layers of awakening, let's say, different parts of you that are ready to step forward and take you into the kind of the life that you want to live, and the kind of life that you want to deserve, that you really truly deserve, and that maybe some old programming and some old stuff is not serving you right now, right? And hypnotherapy is just one of the many, many ways or modalities out there available to you to explore that. And this is why I wanted to bring this to you guys here today, because there's so many things. There's so many things out there. And hypnotherapy is one of the easiest ways for me, one of the quickest ways for me in terms of getting to that level of programming where I can, just slide something in really quick, especially, if you're doing something, let's say you're a public speaker or something like that, right? Like this is where, Lori does quick calls to Jan, right? Sometimes, or, Jan is another one of our coaches and colleagues that we work with, or Angela. And I'm like, hey, I'm just about to do this. I need a 3-minute hypnosis with me, right? And when you're more primed, let's say, for which is the level of release where, you've done this work enough, it can be really, really quick. So this is why we go through the sessions, right? So it's not a quick fix, nothing ever really is, but it's one of the quickest, I have to say, because we literally, you really slide under that critical faculty, or that veil that Angela was talking about, that really where we're stuck in our head. So when we're stuck in our head, you have to get through that veil to get into the unconscious, so that, we have a new mind, we have a new programming going on that is a little bit a nicer track to listen to. So if you're really hard on yourself, or if you've got a lot of negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, guilt, shame, regret, resentment, all these things, those things can kind of, be filtered out through hypnotherapy as well. So if you've come across hypnotherapy, and I'm telling you that if you're watching this, or if you're listening about and it's coming into your world, hypnotherapy, that could be something next for you to try, right? And before you answer on that, Rachel joined us in our Zoom call. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Rachel. So, hey, Rachel, thanks for joining us. And she's right in our Zoom. And so, and Rachel, did you have any questions for us? There's the chat there, so you can, there she is. Hi.
Hi, Rach.
And so if you have any questions or comments, by all means, feel free to pipe in or whatever else, but I just wanted to say hi to you and to say hi to those that are watching us on Facebook. So hi, Holly.
Hey, guys.
And so, do you know Rachel?
I do. Rachel.
Oh, you do. Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
Well, hi, Rachel. I don't know her, so thanks for joining us.
You would love her, Laura. You would love her. She's so, there she is with her Harry Potter background.
Rachel, do
No.
you know a lot about hypnotherapy and hypnosis? Have you done it before? Let me
Yeah,
unmute.
I know about it. I've actually just taken my NLP training and everything too.
Oh, well, welcome to the club. That's fantastic. So, right. So did you want to add anything? Do you love hypnotherapy too?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. What's a great experience that you've had going through hypnotherapy or doing hypnotherapy?
I don't know, I just find it makes me feel really good.
Cool. Well, thank you for being here and sharing. And I think that's another really great general overview of hypnotherapy is that it's just cool. It's so cool. It just makes everybody feel super comfortable. It makes everyone at peace, right? Especially when you go through a session and we've done it on a bigger scale where we're, in groups and classrooms and you're just chill. You're just so chill that, just no worries, when you're in that state, you're in that trance state. And so, there's so much, out there, and hypnotherapy is so powerful, especially when you're in that theta brainwave. So when you're just about to drift off to sleep,
Yeah.
when you're just about to wake up, those are hypnotic states. And so it's really important that when you're falling asleep, that you're not falling asleep in front of the television, or that you don't fall asleep to the television, because the things that you're watching when you're falling into that theta brain, that programmable state, is being downloaded into you, right? So it's really, if you could not fall asleep in front of a TV, I would highly recommend that. And this is me, like whatever I'm watching before bedtime, I'm very, very careful of, because I'll have nightmares or dreams about whatever it was that I was watching when I was like dozing off, right? So I'm really careful about the things that I watch, especially before I go to bed, right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
One of my favorite things to do. You ever wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep?
All the time.
When yeah. You wake up and you can't go back to sleep, and then all these thoughts start rumbling around in your head, and it makes you either more wake up or you're remembering all the stuff that that you don't need to remember because it's negative. One of my favorite things to do is to go to I have a couple of hypnotherapists and hypnosis practitioners that I follow on Instagram or on YouTube. And I'll go to one of their sites and I will pick out a hypnosis on something that I want to work on with myself. So whether it's, inner child work or meeting my higher self, sometimes it's about getting rid of irrational fears. Whatever it is, I will go to one of them and I will put on my earphones and I'll go to sleep with that person's voice inside my head. Now, really important caveat here to anybody listening. Please make sure that if you're doing that you're listening to somebody who's very highly skilled and properly trained. And
reputable.
Yes, reputable. Because what they're saying to you is very powerful, and you want it to align with who you are and all be good, empowering thoughts.
Right.
So if you want to visit somebody I really love, his name is Michael Seeley. He has a fantastic voice, and he has a whole set of hypnosis tracks, all on themes, downloadable, or you can just watch them live on YouTube. I love watching them listening and falling asleep to them on YouTube, and having that wonderful experience going into that, half awake, dreamy, hypnotic state. So
write that down, please, Michael Seeley, because I don't want you guys in the middle of the night just researching random hypnosis, because Angela's 100% right. And that you want whoever you're listening to, you want to know that they're a reputable source, because you're going to be sleeping. You're not going to be awake to listen and pay attention to what programming is going down. Like, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. Except when you're in that hypnotic state, you need 100% trust, because you don't know what's going in, right? So you want it to be clean, you want it to be authentic, you want it to be ethical, you want it to be moral, and you want it to be aligned with who you are and what you do. And so That's a great suggestion and reference. And I have loads of resources for you guys too. So if you have any questions, just reach out to me. And I'm sure Angela has one that she could probably share at the end of this too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I have some pre-recorded, generalized, because let's be truthful, hypnosis can be very generalized or it
yes.
can be personalized. So sometimes things like, uh, dealing with, I don't know, what's a good topic? Going, like we've already mentioned inner child work. I don't know why that keeps coming up, but you can have
Manifestation. How about
yeah,
manifestation?
you can get a really good generalized hypnosis on manifestation or connecting with your powerful self. And you can have a recording of that through someone like Michael Seeley or Lori and I could create a recording that anyone can use. Or if you have something very specific, you can also have a practitioner either record you a powerful recording, which if you listen to for like 21 to 30 days, it becomes so deep in your unconscious that you actually can never go back to who you were before you made those changes, which is super powerful. Or you could come to a lawyer or me and go through a series of in-person hypnosis sessions, moving you towards whatever your goal is. So there's lots of ways we can engage with the practice of hypnosis for self-empowerment, for growth, for installing new habits, changing habits that you don't like anymore. Just make sure that when you do connect with someone, that they're certified, that they have legitimate training, and that what they're saying in their hypnosis is completely aligned and ethical.
Yes. And, and that's just like with any coach, mentor, anybody that you hire, obviously. You want to do your due diligence in terms of making sure that they're reputable and everything else like that, which is why I've brought Angela to you guys. And so, she works with people on so many different levels and realms, which makes her so well-rounded. She works with people, she works with their families, she works with their pets. Like she works, on so many levels to bring people to the place where they need to get to in terms of their life's desires and, the life that, but in terms of living the life that you desire, really all comes to, being who you're meant to be and living that true authentic self, right? And self-discovery. And I think hypnotherapy is one of the best and, interesting tools of self-discovery that not nobody, because obviously we know about it, but I mean, that isn't really out there in terms of, one of the top modalities out there because of, people's fear of it, right? They just don't know. And so it's our job to, inform everybody out there of, really powerful, quick ways that you can get to the love you want, the relationship you want, the life you want, the health you want, the finances you want, the career and business that you want. Like, it doesn't matter what area of your life you want to improve upon. We're here to tell you that hypnotherapy is one of the ways that you can get there quickly and easily, working one-on-one or over a small amount of time, doing it in a more way, like Angela had described, right? And so I'm just going to go back on here. Did you want to add anything to that as well, Angela?
I think it's really important, Lori, that people know that hypnotherapy is an actual medical tool. Clinical hypnotherapy is practiced by medical doctors, psychotherapists. My background is I'm a chiropractor, and hypnosis can even be used in the chiropractic room or the treatment room to help patients, the most easily is to have them relax and completely, be comfortable with their chiropractor. But we can also use hypnosis and hypnotherapy in creating deeper relationships with our patients and our clients. And it is a very legit tool. It's been around for over 3,000 years officially. We've seen evidence of, practitioners using hypnosis and the power of the voice and working on that deep unconsciousness for thousands and thousands of years. And so if you don't know enough about it, feel free to reach out to one of us and ask for maybe some more information, resources. There are so many different ways to use hypnosis and hypnotherapy, I think it's an underutilized tool in life, and that if we used it more often and with more volition, right, with more intention, that it could help us transform out of, you know, painful situations so much quicker than what we as humans believe is possible. And I love that about it, because it really is connecting to that deeper 100% of who you are, so that you can move forward and, like you said, live the life of your dreams, move towards your goals, and to do it at such a speed that
yeah, it doesn't have to take forever.
that just
You don't
really
have to be in pain for years and years and years and years. Actually, like there are tools out there that can heal you at a quantum speed, you know, that you just have to believe that it's possible. And you know, in my world, it's possible. Like, you don't have to live in pain and agony and unhappiness and miserability for, you know, ever. Right? Once you make a decision, you see and you find things that come into your realm, like this video or whatever else, that's telling you, here, you have another option, you have another, you know, possibility. The universe is bringing you this to you right now to say, here, how many more things can I throw at you in order for you to say yes and take a risk? And because you've tried everything else. Well, have you tried hypnotherapy? That's my question to you. Because if you've tried it all and you haven't tried hypnotherapy yet, you know, you need to reach out to one of us. Okay.
Because absolutely. That's exactly it. And
this could be it.
It could be. And it just takes a phone call, a message, you know, and the hardest, I think the hardest thing about people reaching out to get help is that one thing. It's actually the ask.
Yes.
Right? And so that is the powerful part of this work, is you have a practitioner supporting you. You have someone standing behind you that wants you to jump into your magnificence, like to let that magic out, to help you heal, to help you become that person that you've always wanted to be. And it's not a solo journey. It's the wonderful journey where you get to partner up with a practitioner that
has been there, done it, you know, like
there.
Yeah.
True.
Right?
We've been there. That's why we're on this path. Let's be real. Let's be real. You know, our lives are not all rainbow and sunshine. We both, I know Lori's story and she knows mine. We both have been through the darkest of darks. And it's these tools that helped us in those darkest days lift ourselves up, to help ourselves get over the pain, the darkness, you know, the tragedies that we've gone through. And at the same time, we chose to use these tools with others, because I know this is probably true for you, Lori, but it is for me. I would never want anybody to suffer the way that I suffered. I want to put these tools into the hands of the world and say, hey, did you know that these things were possible? Did you know there was a solution? Did you know that it's really easy to learn or to ask for help? And so hypnosis is probably one of the most easiest tools to start in that, you know, quantum speed transformation, that quantum powerful using your unconscious mind transformation, because it's very supportive and it's very comfortable and it's a lot of fun. It is totally a lot of fun. Yeah.
And so I'm just going to kind of just give a shout out to those watching Facebook. Hi. So I have my phone here. So I'm like watching everybody who's watching us. If you have any questions or comments, by all means, please reach out and say hello. Oh, and of course, if you're watching on the replay, any questions that you post in here right now, we'll catch later on that we can answer, because it is a little bit of an enigma, right? People are like, you know, I've heard about it, it kind of, you know, and so this is really our goal right now, is to just debunk, you know, kind of whatever, you know, connotations or thoughts you have towards hypnotherapy, or just give you more information as to why it might be for you, right? In terms of, you know, like I said before, if you've tried so many other things.
Yeah. You know, we haven't talked about much, Lori?
What?
Stage shows.
Oh, yes.
Stage shows. So I'm sure some of you have been to a stage show. I know I have, before I knew anything about hypnosis.
Funniest times of my life, I've been at hypnotherapy shows where I couldn't even contain my laughter. I was laughing so hard, like snorting.
Yeah, I love stage shows. And it's funny because there's a lot of misconceptions about stage shows.
Mm-hmm.
And stage shows are just like any other hypnosis, one-on-one or in a small group. Stage shows are the same. If you're that person that really on the deepest part of you wants to make other people laugh or wants to be that person standing on the stage, then you likely will be the person that volunteers for the stage show. And if you're not that person, if you're that person that's a little bit skeptical or unsure, or maybe you're the person that just wants to watch and laugh the whole time at, your girlfriend who went up there, you're probably going to stay in the seats. But I love stage shows because they help us go to that deepest part of ourselves that thinks everything in the world is fun. Like when you were 5, when you just live to laugh. And I love going to stage shows or participating in them. And I have done some stage shows, just so you know, because they release like this deepest part of you that is just here on this world for joy.
Yeah. And you don't care what other people think because, you're at that level. Like if you go into trance and you get called up onto the stage and you're there, you're in your most blissful, not care, joyful state. Like you're not up there thinking, worried that people are going to laugh at you or make fun of you or whatever else. Like no cares in the world. I love it. I've been both. I've been on stage and I've been a participant. But when I was on stage, it was in like our professionals. It wasn't, someone that I didn't know or whatever else. But so funny. And yeah, so totally. Yeah, just go and enjoy and relax. And if you fall into trance and you get called up on the stage or whatever else, you're in for a fun ride for sure, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. And I think that's really important that on that stage, you recognize how liberating it can be to just release that inner part of yourself, to be funny, to be liberating. Right, to be that person.
That's what hypnosis does. It liberates you. It literally unshackles you from the stuff, the old programming that no longer serves you, that doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your highest good because when you're not in that state, you're not forced to do, things that you don't want to do. And yet your unconscious is like, not saying it wants to go on stage and do all these fun things, but it wants to be unleashed into its magnificence. It wants to come out. It wants to play. It wants to do all the fun things. Because I bet you if I was to ask every son that's watching right now, like, who could use more fun in their life right now? I bet you every single person would be like, oh God, yes, I'm way too serious. Yes. So, and that's another part that, hypnotherapy plays and that it can help you with is allowing you to allow yourself to let that inner child come forward and play and just enjoy life at that level, right? And whatever.
Absolutely. I love doing stage shows for that simple fact is just to watch people be in their bliss, be exuberant, be excited, be passionate about something again.
Ridiculous even, like I could use way more ridiculousness in my life for sure, right?
Yep, in a loving, compassionate, and fun environment.
Joyful, painless way, yes.
Yeah, I was actually talking with a girlfriend a couple of weeks ago. I think you saw, I put a post out and I was just fishing, right? Just seeing who was interested if we were, because it's COVID, right? And we're learning how to change our businesses and change what we do to be able to still take care of our people. And so a girlfriend and I were contemplating about, she's also a hypnosis trainer. What if we did an empowerment stage show? Because like Lori said, all of us probably need a bit more joy, a little bit more passion, some ridiculous in our life. What if we did an empowerment stage show, where it was only a group of us, a small group where you can feel super comfortable, getting together and having that fun, unleashing, you know, that wonderment inside experience.
Oh my gosh.
And so I don't know, Lori,
there.
that
I'm so there, and I feel like we've just created something. So if that sounds
Maybe-
interesting to you watchers out there, and you are like, you know what, if Lori's going to be there and if Angela's going to be there, I trust this process. I know it's going to be safe and it's going to be fun. If you want to be a part of that, reach out to us, because I think that I would love to do that. I would love to be part of that, Angela, for sure, because I know the group that you're already talking about. And so it'll be loads of fun, like shits and giggles for sure. And at the end of it, we're just gonna be way more empowered, way more, you know, in touch with ourselves, way more divine, way more, and you know, I think that is a really great idea. So now that COVID's lightening up, so now we're phase 3 here in Barrie and in other parts of the world in Ontario, I'm not 100% sure. So it's more of a possibility to do up here sooner than later for sure, right?
Absolutely. I think it would be so great, because I think I've been missing that interaction with one-on-one and in groups with people, and this way, at least when we re-enter the world, what a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
And in being in the right network of people to do it will be also so empowering and so exciting at the same time.
Well, there you have it. So, you know, great time to wrap things up right now. And thank you so much, Angela, for coming on and being a part of, you know, my group and my empowered living message to really help, you know, give people the skills and tools out there that they may or may not be aware of, that's going to help them, you know, live their best life in whatever that way that means for them. And so, yeah, so thanks guys for watching. If you're watching on the replay, reach out to us. Angela, she's going to share maybe some hypnosis stuff. We're going to post it in the group, and we'll see you next week, next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. You don't go anywhere. I'm going to sign off our live.